Howdy folks, and welcome back to another day of LPL action. Not even the champion, like action, rather than action. That champion's never getting some play again. Okay, we have Anyone's Legend versus Weibo and Invictus Gaming versus BLG. So two pretty hype series actually. I think that Weibo do have some winning angles versus Anyone's Legend despite their inconsistencies. And I think that IG have the team fighting stuff really to at least make things interesting. I'm not sure they'll survive the early game versus BLG. It could also be a somewhat of a ritual execution, but we shall see. Where's Sam? Sam will be coming in a second. In fact, actually, I've got so I'm gonna be on Power Spike a little later, podcast. So I'm gonna have to dip out for a bit to go to that. It's just the only time we could do it effectively. I feel bad for leaving Sam alone to do a fair amount of LPL in the last few days. Today is like really packed for me though. I've got like, well, I was meant to have 3 podcasts and LPL. I think I've managed to move one of them because I'm meant to be recording some content about Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, which is a very cool game. Well, it's a flawed game, but one which I think actually has a lot of cool stuff to it. Anyway, who thinks Anyone's Legend is the better team? I mean, they are the better team than Weibo, but I do think that they can lose through top lane. Flounder on an individual laning level has been a lost condition. So I think that Zuka, who's had some very good laning performances, could actually just win for Weibo through top lane. I think that genuinely could be a thing. So keep your eyes out for that. If the top lane matchup goes very heavy Weibo favored, I think they can win. Hey, Sean, how's it going? Okay, I'm gonna have to go get ready in the background real quick. I know it's a little bit late today. I was a little late to start, but enjoy the roster graphics and stuff like that. And we'll get some coffee, and we'll get sat down and enjoy some League of Legends, eh? Okay, I'm back sat down. Although I will have to go again at some point. Because, I have to go get my coffee. Things like that. So yeah, Weibo, Anyone's Legend. Look, Anyone's Legend obviously coming in, I think.
各位好，欢迎来到赛前采访，我是刘航。我们邀请到的是 AL 战队的上单选手 Flander 圣枪哥，欢迎圣枪哥，先跟大家打个招呼吧。
Hello， 大家好，我是 AL 的上单胜哥。
那我是看你昨天通宵在打排位，一直打到早上的8、9点，为什么强度这么高？
因为就感觉最近训练量不太够，就想多打点排位嘛。
真的是把努力刻在骨子里的人啊，当然还是要注意身体。那第二个问题，圣枪哥应该是14年开始打职业，到了26年应该是你打职业的第13年了。你现在面对 LPL 的每一场比赛，你的心态是怎样的？
现在面对 LPL 的每一场比赛，跟我一开始来 LPL 的心态是一样的，都是想把每一场比赛都做好，就尽自己最大的努力，尽自己最大的能力去打好吧，所以就没什么改变。
真的是时间在变，版本在变，但是不变的是圣枪哥纯粹的热爱，加油
Sorry, this gets me every time. Oh god, okay, yeah.
各位好，欢迎来到赛前采访，我是刘航。我们邀请到的是 WBG 战队的打野选手杰杰，欢迎杰杰来先跟大家打个招呼吧。
大家好，我是 WBG 的打野杰杰。
欢迎杰杰。杰杰会觉得，开赛打到现在，你会觉得队伍还有很大提升空间的地方在哪里？
可能是这版本我们要抓好更多的英雄优先级，以及减少一些个人的失误吧。
毕竟是这个赛季5个人刚刚组成，还需要更多的时间去磨合配合，有更好的表现。那第二个问题，今天要面对到的 AL 战队，他们是一支运营节奏会比较稳的队伍，你会觉得有哪些是今天特别要注意的地方
？AL 一直以来都是以野辅为主导的一个进攻节奏嘛，所以可能面对他们的时候要着重针对一下这方面。
也期待今天 WBG 的精彩表现。
观看2026英雄联盟职业联赛第1赛段，您可以通过英雄联盟客户端、掌上英雄联盟及英雄联盟赛事官网 lpl.qq.com、虎牙直播、哔哩哔哩直播、腾讯视频、腾讯体育、新浪微博、微信视频号进行收看。电视机前的召唤师可以通过百视通平台收看全程赛事。上京东搜“京东电竞直播”，赢千元耳机和游戏手办。穿李宁日进斗金系列，祝你峡谷稳赢，马年旺道飞起。开一局吗？开就开！感谢提供全场保护的杜蕾斯，今晚持久战力开一局。Sky Motor 手机电动，快人一步，稳赢一路。TCL 全屋智慧家电，峡谷英雄敢为不凡。2026 LPL 官方指定家电产品，更受电竞
Oh my god,
喜
that's
欢
so
的能
loud,
量
what the
饮
hell?
料，醒神好喝，当然站吧。
Also, like, these aren't the ads which actually cause the issues, by the way. These aren't the ones.
销量第一。
Why were they so loud? What the heck? Wow. But no, that's not the one which causes issues.
I'm the one that causes issues,
Yeah,
Alex.
Sam causes the issues.
3.
Hey, dude, it's not my fault if you couldn't hear me saying that. Well, actually, maybe it was because of the interview. But it's not my fault if I'm like, hey, I gotta go get some stuff. Yeah. Thank you all for the follows, by the way. Not wrong though, the clean feed is super loud today. Maybe they've had some notes that things are too quiet somewhere. No, it depends on the venue. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It does, doesn't it? It makes sense if they've got individual production teams and individual production flows. Oh, you definitely look like you have an air fryer. Air fryer for the jumbo. For the jumbo air fryer. I kind of want to say that like, you know, like in Huttese. With the guy. Right. Morning to us. Hey, Dio. That's a dap up. We need to move this mic. We need. That's right. I can. How do we make our coffee? We have a like a coffee pod machine. That's what we have. We also have like a cafetiere French press, and there's instant coffee. Although on the whole, I use the coffee pods because we also have like an Arrowchino kind of thing, which allows you to make like quick and easy like latte / cappuccino milk, which is nice for a morning coffee. And if we're looking for a treat, there's a phenomenal coffee place. Well, several around. Is this the actual Nymaera? Yes, hello, I've zoomed in too far. But yes, this is the actual Nymaera, and this is the actual Initialise, yes. We are brothers, we're casting the LPL. And first game of the day is Anyone's Legend versus Weibo. Oh wow, that's a camera feed and a half. That had some, fixed it. Yeah. That had some artifacts on it. Anyway, yes, we do this every day, folks, that we can. We'll occasionally take a day off, but on the whole, you'll see us live almost every day. Casting some wonderful League of Legends out here. As I would think, a pretty good casting duo. We've got a fun fact for Need for Power first. Need for Power. Alex, trying to narrow that request. It's going to be called Need for Power. What's a cool power-related fun fact? Voltage doesn't kill you, ampage does. Volts don't kill people. Yeah. Ampage does. Yeah. Also, it's okay. Here's a fun fact. It's relatively easy to determine the power output of the sun per second, which power is per second anyway. But it's loud relatively you scream if you get too close to it. No, Sam, not at all. In fact, actually, fun fact. In my like university interview to basically get into University of Sheffield for physics, one of the questions they asked me just in the interview was, what's the power output of the sun? And I was like 17, I would have been 17, 18 at that point. And basically you get given some, you kind of like ask for any constants you want or whatever, and it's like, okay, well, the power output of a meter squared area on Earth of the sun, which is I think 1 megawatt, 1 kilowatt. It is like it's one of those ones used to define quite a lot of things. Yeah, isn't it? Well, anyway, but like basically, if you know the power output of 1 meter squared on the Earth from the sun, you can basically then figure out the distance from there to the sun, build a giant sphere out of that same power output, and you can figure out the same power output because same at all distances. Yeah. Do they still do the 1v1 to determine side selection? No. Bro decided to live on YouTube again. Hey, we've been live on YouTube for the last few days. Well, we have been there. It's just been shut down a couple of times because some adverts have been copyright strikes. It's been very frustrating. So so the answer is we've been trying to go live on YouTube to somewhat mixed success. Yeah. Not exactly what's happening. That is public, so that is there too. That's fine. Cool. Let's just see if that's live on Onivia again, actually. And we're gonna put down here. Booyah! Yeah, one of the problems about streaming this year. Yeah. LPL teasers ads seem to have improved a bit. I mean, I thought they were pretty good the last few years too, actually. Now, why aren't there any views for this? It is public. one sec. Okay, I'm gonna turn the camera off real quick. We should be getting to draft pretty soon, folks. I just gotta check some stuff over on Anivia's stream.
I think it's live now for a minute, so not massively long.
Yeah. Maybe it only just went live now then. Well, that's our draft. Let's get into that. Okay, cool. On to you, Sam.
Fantastic.
Even
We
give you the headphones.
have indeed got some bans on screen, as you will note, as has generally been the way in LPL. Red side will have first pick, basically because these days you choose whether you want first pick or you want side selection. Weibo chose first pick, therefore AL chose blue side, and that is explaining why the bans are in the order they are. We've got ourselves Malphite, Poppy, Rumble away from Weibo Gaming, lots of dangerous skirmishes, lots of dangerous flex picks in the Poppy and the Malphite. On the other side, the Jace, the Nico, the Varus, incredibly potent skirmishes. Jace in particular, Nico in particular, are just unbelievably broken right now.
Right now, also Orianna, probably the best first pick in the game. Shanks might elect to take the Akali into it. A few different people have tried to say, well, let's just pick the Akali into the Orianna. Cream tried that into Knight, got blasted. Karis has been more successful at the Akali side of the matchup. He's the guy who's actually getting more value out of that. Orianna, easy first pick. Shanks is probably the guy that will take the mage matchup. He takes the Azir. This is more the LCK style of things. And then they take the Jarvan away from the Orianna, making sure that prime combo not allowed.
Still some fairly good options to work with should they so choose. Of course, things like the Vi have started coming back up again. Wukong very strong still, so you've still got a fair number of ball carriers out there. It's just not the ball carrier. And the likes of the Jarvan or of course the Malphite, which did get banned. And Bessa has also been very good as a pairing with this.
I'm not going to lie, I feel like Ambessa is a better Vi right now. You can technically flex it between two lanes. I know Vi technically gets flexed by Baus, whatever. He's a bit of an anomaly in regards to that. But the Ambassador, I think, is a better version of Vi right now. AD fighter with some really annoying like ability to escape in any situation. Very good early potential as well. And also, if you miss your R key and the engage doesn't work, then no harm, no foul. You're not into the play. And also welcome to everyone in chat. I missed the last day or two. Thank you so much for doing the long shift yesterday, Sam.
I see you, Galfalol, in here, who was doing some decent breakdown of chat with me yesterday.
Very
was having a good time.
Yeah, I was vaguely in chat.
He was with me screaming at Xiaohu's unfortunate misplaced.
I want everyone to know. I want everyone to know that yesterday I had my day off yesterday, and I chose to spend it doing an Uma Musume tournament.
You did well,
and I won. I won my Uma Musume tournament. All three of my team won Christmas augury because it wasn't banned, and it was a very unfair lobby of not League of Legends, but of Uma Musume. Sion locked in now. So anyone's legend have a really tight setup for a front to back, like a really tight setup for this. You have, and by the way, I'm gonna take a little bit of time to break this down too. Azir Jarvan is one of my very favorite mid-jungle combinations too as well. It doesn't seem that intuitive. It's not got the best early power compared to, stuff like your Lee Sin, LeBlanc. It doesn't have the best combos compared to your Viari or your Taliyah or something like that. But Jarvan gets to cover Azir's lane, and then in teamfights later, all he has to do is drop the standard. There are not many mid laners, especially magic damage ones, which use attack speed well and use Jarvan's standard well. As soon as he drops Ears at max rank, Azir gets an extra 30% attack speed.
Which is ridiculous.
That is not okay for a champion like Azir. It's frankly really busted. So having an actual attack speed carry in mid lane really helps the Azir pop off. Anyone's legend, be interested to see if they lock in another attack speed carry to benefit from that from the Jarvan, or if they lock in something longer range to follow the engage. That typically tends to be the way of it. Weibo on the other side, it's just a generically strong champion in the Yunara. With the Aphelios and the Varus ban, I think he banned Misfortune last, actually. I think Misfortune's the best last ban. That's the last real lane counter to the Yunara. At that point, Hope is probably thinking Kai'Sa after that point, which is a little bit more B tier in terms of the Yunara matchup itself. I want to see a Misfortune ban here.
Yeah. Quick note, because I want to go look up the base numbers of attack speed stats, Al. Berserker Greaves are only 25% attack speed, so you're getting more than Berserker Greaves.
They nerfed it a year or two ago.
By the way, more than Berserker Greaves from stats.
I figured out the meta now, folks, just in case you didn't realize. It was a Misfortune ban, which leaves Hope into Kai'Sa or Sivir, basically. Those are your two other things. Sam, I've figured out the meta finally. It's taken me like a week.
I'm also saying I've seen a lot of Sivirs really struggle.
Yeah, they have. And they lock in the Corki, and this for me is where a lot of the problems start to come in. Corki is a constellation matchup into the Yunara, and I personally think it is really, really risky.
The one time I have seen Corki beat Yunara in lane is when the Corki's been paired with the Nami. And they've gone that route and bullied lane so hard that Yunara's not been able to play. But then it's basically using it as a duo, not just the individual champion. Because the individual champion matchup with tank engaged supports isn't that fun. I think when you've got the Scion and the Jarvan, you could probably get away with a Nami here, actually.
I think they're going to check the Ambassador top lane, find a different matchup. Ah, there you go. So you don't. Now this changes things because Ambassador Orianna it struggles a little bit more to get on top of the Azir consistently. Now if you have the Nocturne and the Ambassador gunning towards the Azir, one of them will land the knockout blow, and the Orianna ball will be on top of it. What this means, and I have to say, Corki's not great into either of those champions either. You think the mobility is enough, but if you get caught out, effectively your fight is immediately over before you get to use that mobility. Personally, I think Weibo have got a far better comp here because despite the fact that I like their front line, I don't think their carries can survive the point-and-click engage.
And it is very point-and-click from lots of different angles. Nocturne, Alistair, Ambessa, all able to threaten. What do you even lock in here as Kyle? I'm feeling Thresh or Nami if you want to go a little out of meta and away from the tank engage, might give you some ways to help disengage / get someone out to safety. Bard could do something similar.
I like Bard because what happens with the Bard is that you can ult the target which is getting Nocturne Orianna, and if you time it well, that's the one way you can actually survive the Knockwave combo. If you time it well, because the Shockwave is cast mid-flight, you go golden just before the Shockwave hits and you survive. I like this, also because Kyle is one of the very few Bard players in the LPL that makes the champion look good.
That's what I wanted to come on to myself next, was the fact that Kyle is probably our best Bard, so the fact it's coming together, I really should have remembered that one. I've been talking about Bard non-stop. I think he is one of our better lane-dominant supports, partly because he also provides engage as a range support, which is very unusual. Consistent as well, as long as you're good. If you can land a Q, if you can threaten, hell, even a base auto for the slow can be quite good. The magical journey ganks, all of these things, very, very potent. Other side of this, guys, off meta. If you look at the top of your screens, you'll notice we're nearly at 10,000 followers. 29 to go.
I didn't realize we got that
29
many.
to go.
Holy moly,
we managed to make about 70 over the last day and a bit.
Very cool.
Which is very awesome. However, that does then mean, for all of you back home, if you've not followed on the Twitch, please do so, because we're trying to make that push up towards 10k, because why wouldn't we? So if you're enjoying the show, please make sure you get that little follow on. It's a great time.
Did you change the ad thingy, by the way?
I did that yesterday.
Okay,
yeah.
cool, perfect. I was just checking that was the thing. Cool.
Yep.
I was basically focused on doing some back-end stream stuff while we was looking at that stuff. And if you don't want to have these, as we're breaking down the drafts, post-draft, we normally have like a 1 minute of ad break to make sure that the ads aren't going to hit us during the game. Yeah. Because that's the word. Look, folks, I want to get good ads, but also I don't want to give you ads while the Nexus is dying.
That is really sad.
That tends to be pretty antisocial, you know. I feel like that's against things. Right, we're going to get into our first game of the day. Anyone's Legend, Weibo, AL, the overdogs, Weibo, the underdogs, but still going to be a pit fight all the same.
Bit of a chunk there as Era comes in and headbutts someone. Aha!
Yeah, effectively what Alistair ends up doing is level 1, using the headbutt like a ranged auto attack. As a melee champion, having something to interact with at level 1 is really important, and Alistair struggles to do that. And you can see right here, you know, actually the Bard is, this is where the matchup starts to get annoying. It's Alistair against the range, which is the problem here.
And Kyle's managed to get 3-4 autos onto Elk, which has been a big deal. Again, as the Bard, you've got healing shrines at level 2 should you so need it. You've got the fact that you store more pots. I think Hope landed a Frost Bomb as well. Elk's already down his pot and not exactly having a great time at this level 1.
No, and I have to say, this bot lane laning phase hasn't been the best from these two players. Now, Elk individually has gotten some ridiculous gold leads. He got a 10,000 gold lead individually the other day. Why is that? We're gonna have to just let this, Harold, we're probably just gonna have to let that happen, by the way. That is just my bad. I think I messed around with the ad settings. So you know what I was saying about ads during game? Because I messed around with it, we're actually probably
we might get
Oopsies.
1 or 2, guys. It'll be all right. It's this or lose 20% ad
all
rev.
good.
Genuinely,
all good.
it's very
It's
silly.
fine, it's fine. We're chill. I'm fine. I'm chill. I'm cool. Shanks to Xiaohu trading out of mid lane, and yeah, Xiaohu, one of the other players we probably do need to focus on, because I think that Xiaohu has had Well, I phrased it this way in a Reddit comment, and I'm going to stick by it because I think I nailed it on that one. He has like 90% of a good game and then runs it down in the last 5 to 10%. Just one ridiculous moment can just ruin a game, sadly for him. Like, if you think about the games versus BLG, a lot of the game-losing plays is Aurora flank, overstaying in mid lane and top lane as the Cassiopeia, then in game 3 as well. They cost the series versus BLG.
Yeah.
Looking at the further games, we've also had some other moments which I'm probably forgetting a couple in there too. So Xiaohu, despite him actually having very good laning phases, he was out laning Knight on the Cassiopeia versus the Talia matchup, which is a good matchup anyway. A big difference. Hang on and fight on the bot side.
Cosmic Binding came on through as Ero went forward, kind of denied Elk for a second or two. Tarzan fighting with JJ. The problem is, as the Nocturne's in melee range, the Unspeakable Horror can come on through. Kyle and Hope, though, threatened some more, and so they'll flash forward, land the Cosmic Binding Magical Journey over the wall, try to get in range. Doing a phenomenal job of body blocking. Doing a slightly less phenomenal job of getting the center, but Xiaohu's TPing. Tarzan now around, can look to flag and drag on timer. Shanks is here. That's 3 members that Xiaohu's going to have to manage. Will flash away, but the flag and drag is there, and Xiaohu with another disastrous TP 2 days in a row.
Weibo was so close to having the damage that they needed, but anyone's legend get into the river first, and they're just a little better at finding an isolated target. The flash stun from Kyle and Hope following up makes a big difference, and it felt like AL were just finding it easier to get onto an isolated target and get the damage down where it counted. Weibo a little bit more fractured and couldn't make things work.
I will say, Alex, you weren't here yesterday.
No, Sam, I saw bits and pieces, but tell me the damage, Sam.
Xiaohu managed to giga throw probably 2 games, including via some really, really unfortunate teleports.
No,
They're the
my
kind
dude.
of TPs where it's like, I need to turn up to the skirmish, and his team has just decided no. And
God.
so it's like, I'm TPing to this tier 2, and Zucker TPs 5 seconds later, and so he's alone by a tier 2 and dies. Similar vibes to here. It's like, I need to get involved in the skirmish. No, Xiaohu, you do not. You do not need to get involved in the skirmish. And that
Xiaohu.
could be a problem.
Now, Xiaohu's a guy which obviously we have a lot of respect for. He's one of the most internationally successful players of all time, despite not being a world champion. Luckily, JJ's going to get the second Scuttle Crab here. That's been alive for a very long time, by the way. But yeah, I mean, obviously Tarzan is now very far ahead. One of the things which I criticized anyone's legend for against JDG was that early game was well off. Like, well off. It really felt like Junjia was very far ahead of Tarzan. He was judging the early game a lot better than he was. And the problem is that Tarzan is the most important player to anyone's legend. You can't make any bones about that, really. He is so important to them. And if he suddenly loses the agency to change the direction of a game, anyone's legend feel very, very different without that. He's won this early skirmish now, even in gold with JJ. That happens, by the way. Sometimes you don't kill all the small crocs. But Tarzan, he actually has some agency on the map in a way he didn't in the last series they played.
Has got the floor. No, has not got the flash. There we go. Shanks may now be in danger. Just at the level 6. Shirji's going to throw down that darkness. Try to get forward to shuffle onto Xiao, who doesn't have the flash reminder. He's in danger himself. The shockwave pulls one back. Not bad from Xiaohu and Shirji. Unfortunately, it will still be the 1-for-1 as AL ensure that Weibo Gaming can't make the gank happen cleanly.
Yeah. For a second, I was baited out because I thought that the Nocturne passive was the ultimate of Orianna. I thought, oh my god, they've airballed it. Luckily, they get one there. Shanks does go down. But Xiaohu dying doesn't help his individual scenario that much. Both the junglers now, again, keeping pace with each other because they both got that kill. Hope and Kyle winning through that bot side of the map, helping themselves get into that mid lane earlier. And they're playing out this bot lane matchup very well. I mean, I think the Alistair pick with that in mind ends up really hurting Weibo because it means that Elkaner can't really get as much out of the laning phase that you'd expect from a Yunara. So I'm going to look back at this again. Level 6 was hit by both of our laners here. JJ, a very good spell shield from him. Actually, very good spell shield. Gets it through that ultimate, allows him to keep melee range, and that allows for the kill to come through.
And I appreciate the fact that Shanks went, you know what, we can play this. Went looking for the double shuffle. Gets one, still gets the kill. I think 1-for-1 there is kind of fine when your wave wasn't crashing into turret to begin with, so you're not exactly losing it on that much. Tarzan did a stellar job there of holding the wave, which always feels very nice for your mid laners there. Took a minion, which is a correct amount, and we'll be fine from that.
Sorry for the break there, folks. If you don't want to have this one mini 30-second break, yeah, just subscribe. It tends to
See what that's
tends to help a little bit, folks. Okay, so Kyle Going into the enemy jungle, putting down that vision. This is where the game starts to get... Well, this is where the game is very important. JJ has his level 6. He wants to start applying that pressure across the map. However, there's wards now in the enemy jungle. There's one on the top side of mid lane, which is one of the common ult spots, or just over that wall into Raptors, and then there's one into the bot side jungle as well. The way I think about it, first rank of Nocturnal is not that much longer than a max range Nidalee Spear. It's fairly long range for a basic skill shot, but not for an ultimate. It's really once you get to that second level of it where it becomes truly semi-global, and at that point you have to have just your head on a swivel, be understanding of where it is safe for you to step and where it's not. With that in mind, stuff like Zuka here, kind of just leaving the wave to be in the middle of the lane. Yeah. It's more important because it means that anyone's legend need to be a bit more respectful, of course, to make sure that they're not leaving themselves out to dry to JJ.
Flandre having a fairly okay time here up against Zuka, and there was a world when we were coming into this and we were having a discussion in general. Last night, trying to do some touchstone work, trying to get ourselves on board for today. JJ won't have his blue buff stolen there. I think Kyle was wondering about throwing out a Q. I would have.
You a bard player, Sam?
No, and I think I would have died for it because I wouldn't have my stun when JJ inevitably ults me.
Like when I run into a player that plays League, I find it quite funny when they just play a champion. I just like something about their character to me just doesn't scream you play that character. You know, like seeing like a really like shy person being a Draven player or something like that. Like this is a funny little anecdote here. As hang on, there might actually be a knockwave combo in mid lane. Okay, no, we're safe. It's fine. I was wondering if I had to shut up because the Nocturne was going to be there. I've told you this before, but you in chat. Did everyone in chat know that I'm actually in a Heimerdinger montage? Yeah, for some reason I'm in a Heimerdinger montage. It's somewhere up on YouTube from the first set of Earth, because I had like this mega outplay of like flashing back from a Rakan engage and this
Who was recording that?
I don't know,
Who
Sam.
got this footage of you?
Sam, I don't know. I've
seen the montage.
Sam, I don't know because I wasn't recording it. Because then I wasn't even at the time, but several years later I found this Heimerdinger montage. I'm like, why am I on the camera? Why am I here? Very strange experience. Anyway. Next time we run into League of Legends players, find out the champion which they're least likely to play.
Is that your biggest claim to League fame?
Well, Sam, probably not now. We've done all this work in this season.
Yeah, it's true.
Tell you what, it's probably my hoodie now at this point. More people talk about that than my damn casting, Sam.
Well, it's a great hoodie.
It is a very good hoodie. We should probably talk about the game now.
Yeah, I wanted to do a little bit narrative-y things.
Go.
Specifically around Flandre and Zuka, because we were saying Flandre has not been it coming into the majority of these first few series. AL are 1 and 2. For a number of reasons, but one of the major ones is there is a potential Knockwave combo, so I'm just paying attention. They know he's there.
And that's why we were talking about the importance of Kyle putting out. Go back into that top lane narrative just for now. Dragon is spawning. You've got to do it quick, Sam.
Yeah. Basically, Flandre has been struggling, and his laning phase has been a potential loss condition for Weibo. Zuka, having been on some teams that have been struggling where he's still been individually a bit of a stud, honestly, can definitely do some work here, and that's a potential way for Weibo to find a win in this series, especially if Flandre is struggling.
Kyle was... He'd actually loaded up the spellbook smite there. He was thinking about a steal opportunity.
Good man.
Couldn't quite get himself in range in time. Top laners haven't made themselves part of the picture yet, though. But yeah, when I was looking at this matchup, my immediate thought was, Weibo can win if they get a really big top difference. That's why I think that the Sion and Bessa matchup is actually very aware from anyone's legend, because actually Flandre is not going to fall as far behind in this matchup. This is a very well studied, very well kind of like measured matchup at this point between the Sion and the Ambassador. Neither of them really kill each other. Neither of them really get a huge advantage over the other. They just both exist in lane, and they push in at different points depending on the bounce back and the level and item break points. Eventually the Ambassador will be able to, get enough Omnivamp and start to push in side lanes, but it's never really to the points of kill threat, which does mean that Zuka's going to have to do his own stunts in the team fights without that huge advantage the way he was doing on stuff like the Zahem.
Nash's Tooth just picked up by Shanks. Very good on Azir in general now, especially when you've already got the Azir stand. 80% attack speed at max rank standard plus Nash's Tooth, by the way. Hot late, nice little Valkyrie forward onto Elk. Did not enjoy the Gatling gun and rocket combos you can do to get some spell blades down. Shockwave in. All set up very well
good
for a
spell
potential
shield
option as JJ spell shield well. The Tempered Fate, nice idea. Doesn't quite work out to keep them alive. Over comes Ura onto Kyle. Gonna try and flag and drag across, and that's actually bringing Hope over, who can start threatening some more people. The trample, though, is making Hope's job of coming over a little hard, but there's the Cataclysm turning things around. The unspeakable horror flashed away from Kyle as Elk trying to get in with the Arc of Ruin. Flag and drag, the barrier knocked up. Elk's not able to auto. GHJ trying to get some more autos down with the Umbra Glaives. Will not be able to do so as Kyle survives. Had a healing shrine to come and get himself some more to work with. Nora has to flash away. Pulverized to prevent the absolutely easiest knockup of all time. Unfortunately, the Valkyrie's back up from Hope, and he gets another. Sure, you killed Shanks, but at what damn cost?
A 4-for-1 in the bot side completely destroys this early game now. Anyone's Legend so far ahead of the curve, and a lot of it comes from individual misplays, Sam. Individual misplays. Zucker used that ult up there. Looks like they're trading pretty heavily between top laners, but basically Xiao, who walks too far forwards and then doesn't save the flash for the Cataclysm, has to use it early. I think Elk makes a big mistake there too, trying to flash for the kill onto Kyle. Could have used that to escape something like a Foss Bomb or the Flag Drag later. I think that both Xiaohu and Elk have a bad first fight there, and now suddenly Hope, 303, 2.5k up on his individual opponent. I mean, a lot of people have pretty poor opinion of Hope because they've watched him internationally, but regionally this guy has been dominant in a lot of this last year. Zucker's now getting roamed onto.
He is, but here's Hope as well. The Cosmic Binding just doesn't quite work. I saw that idea there from Kyle. He's going to have to lacerate away. We'll eat a big one. It's just not a big one, it's just a regular rocket.
Did Kyle just smite a minion to stop his own stun?
I think he did, which was really stupid.
I think he just stopped his own stun by smiting the minion it was going through. So this play here is good. This one is fine. It's another great spell shield from JJ. That's a 1 for none. I think at this point they should... well, I think you're okay to fight for now. I mean, JJ gets to stack up a lot. Xiao who walks into flag drag range, and then... hang on, we got to fight in live. Hope gets caught.
Does indeed. Can't get through to the magical journey till just now, but does mean he dodged the Thundering Slam. Unfortunately for him, there was a Paranoia waiting. Tempered Fate lands on 2. Oh, baby, this one's going to get messy as a double flag and drag. Xiao, who's now TP'd in. Does he have the Shockwave? He does. Can look for something. It would only realistically be onto Tarzan right now, as Kyle threatening Xiao, who continue to throw out those empowered autos. The Shockwave is airballed! And Xiao, who unfortunately will be experiencing another ailment, namely dirt, because he's eating it.
Weibo do get the kill onto Hope. It's a good shutdown by JJ, who, that is, okay, don't go to
He's going to get the headbutt out of the Cataclysm, but unfortunately he's still trapped within the walls, and Shanks will be donated another kill from 1 and 2 to 4 and 2.
Even though Hope gets shut down, Shanks ends up picking up the gold, which they end up losing anyway. Top lane turret is under threat. They have a huge amount of damage from that Nash's Tooth, and the Azir with a lot of AP now built up, and the Grub's on top of it. Hope goes into mid lane, he'll push out that too. The 2 skirmishes to back-to-back lost in such a huge fashion means that anyone's Legend have complete control over the map. They've taken down top lane turret, mid lane turret is under siege, bot lane's taken a plate as well, and Dragon's in 30 seconds, so the Azir can even recall and come back for a fight and look to fight that objective, which personally I think they should look to do, actually. I think they're strong enough to do it. They're 5,000 gold up. Go back into a replay, starts with a Knockwave combo. Well, a Nocturne jumping at them. Not really a Knockwave combo, but a Nocturne combo.
Hope tries to flash outside the public execution and does not so. As a result, gets jumped on here. But the problem is they go very deep, and this Tempered Fate is so well timed.
It's wonderful. I mean, the Alistar can't quite get the interrupt on the combo in time. Xiaohu teleports into a bad location. What he's trying to do here, I think, is Q between the Jarvan and him so he can stop the combo. Ends up firing a little early, ends up not hitting the Bard or the Jarvan to save himself. I don't think it would have even saved him at the same point anyway. Yeah. Dragon's now alive, expecting a contest, although Azir is on the other side of the map, does have teleport, so he can join when he wants.
He's got a lot of Dark Seal stacks, an Arm Guard, upgraded boots. The Shanks is in heaven right now. He's having a great time. Unfortunately, Xiaohu at 0, 4 and 2 is not having a great day. It's another couple teleports that haven't quite worked out. They've been quite aggressive, skirmish-heavy teleports, looking to get involved. And I don't want to fault the mindset. I will fault the execution. And I don't know whether that is team calls in terms of where you're teleporting. But either way, the plays have been poor. And that is 2 days in a row now from me where Xiaohu has fumbled. And the Spring Tiger has been a bit of a winter-inter.
I can't believe you just invented a new term for our
Shout out to Alpha
player.
Battery, actually.
That's
I think
a good
his
one.
phrase, to be fair.
Jeje has been on, hang on, that's an ult onto Xiao, who does have flash, has to use it.
Longbow went ulti, doesn't quite find what he's looking for. The magical journey away, out comes the Knockwave combo, it's onto the Bard, flash away, will not be able to escape the fear, flag, drag, comes on through, public execution onto Hope. This is a little bit better for Weibo, but a shove away onto Elk with the Emperor's Divide ensures that Nymaera will not be joining royalty anytime soon. Your attempt to deal with him has been
Oh.
denied. A final dragon strike ensures another member down.
Weibo engage onto the Bard. Yeah, you kill Kyle for the first time, but you don't have the go buttons then to reach the Azir or the Corki. Weibo mis-executing their fights. On the other side, Tarzan is having a blinder of a game. He's been hitting knockups onto every single important member, hits a double at the end there, and then finishes off with that last Q, as you were saying. Tarzan gets ahead in the early game, and you can see how different this team looks when Tarzan is running the game. Tarzan and Kyle have been everywhere, and it's led them into these big fights, which then have the space for their carries to start showing off too.
Turn up at the mid lane in tier 1. AL from a lead. AL with a plan looks so damn different to an AL that's lost the laning phase. This is the AL we remember from last year. Elk's in danger now. Eats another soldier going forward. The Cosmic Binding. Backstep from Era. That could have been a dangerous extension otherwise.
Every single outer turret is down, and Weibo barely touched a turret on the other side of the rift. I don't think they have the damage to do anything. They've been trying to throw the shockwave forwards and trying to get that first kill. They don't have the damage to make the knockwave combo really matter.
I think, again, I would ask people to look at the top esports series yesterday and say Weibo, again, struggled to get turrets in the mid game. It cost them a lot of gold. And now, again, it's not about Shockwave actually back. Shank's going to be left about 10%. I don't know when is JJ's ult up. I think it'd be dangerous to go in by himself, but
Well, the
did
problem
cause me a pause there briefly.
He had it up, he could have gone for it, but he has a Seekers, so I think at that point, and then with the Bard ult as well, I think at that point you're playing with fire, really. Herald's available, anyone's legend will make their way over, they have teleports to bring to that too, and that's really telling of, that's really telling. Look, anyone's legend are very far ahead of the play. Right here, they fail the initial pick onto Xiaohu. They get his flash, but then they go... I think they probably do go a little too deep. But now they're afforded this kind of overstep because they have so much damage into the advantage. Tarzan, he just managed to stick around at the front line, and he's so fed at this point that he can stick around for this flag drag at the end where he dunks in and has the ability to jump forwards afterwards, even catching Era on the way out. Anyone's legend playing with their wallets now, really.
I saw Elk slide on forward to get Kyle. Problem is, Shanks was coming down the river, and he goes, oh dear, I've used my E, I've used my smite. Where the hell do I go? Into the dirt, apparently, as you get hit by the Emperor's Device.
Tarzan taking that Herald on the top side of the map, so that's another objective for them. Weibo have a single dragon. That's the only thing which has come up in their objective column. Every single roll across the map is in the advantage, and even Kyle's got himself almost 1,000 gold up. He has the Bandle Pipes going towards a second item. Has the blood song, blood letter?
Blood Razor.
No, it's not Blood Razor.
Are you talking the item?
No, yeah, the item. That one is it. Blood Razor.
I thought it was a Blood Razor.
The item.
Yeah, the support item, Blood Razor.
Yeah, that one item, and he's got that too, and he definitely handcuffs walking him with the ghost.
Oh, and again, the Tempered Fate, he catches him! The slow from the passive auto is dangerous enough, but JJ over the wall, spotted, and so they don't go further. Nice idea from Kyle, though. Causing some serious threats. Tarzan now wards off the flanking threat.
Yeah, Tarzan 2 levels up. They could dive here. They could definitely look to kill the turret, then dive after it. There's no flank. There's no... Well, I think, Sam, they just could because they have the stats is the big thing.
Yeah.
The grouping up is a huge amount. The Barons only just spawned. They'll use that Herald to just run out, I suppose. Anyone's legend can once again claim more territory on the map, and Weibo losing inner turret now, and they're losing even more wards.
Let's do a little bit of context up from as Tarzan can't make the corner there. Unfortunate, but the Herald will still get its charge off, I believe. Smite. Oh,
there you go!
Around. It's all a bait. The Shockwave pulled out the flag and like Tarzan. Oh, Tarzan, that was a little bit too bold. I see the vision. The execution, however, is going to cost them as teleports come flying and the paranoia is in.
There they go. Zucker could potentially ult in as well. Here comes Flandra trying to ward off the front line.
JJ is going to get the flash out of Hope. Public execution does come on in. Zucker trying to get some more. Headbutt, pulverize. Hope needs to Valkyrie. The Baron's been aggroed. Elk also transcends himself. Get the Cosmic Binding onto the wall. A little bit dangerous. As Weibo Gamer, even with the man advantage, are struggling to get anything more.
They end up getting the flash out of Hope, and that's the grand prize of it. Tarzan dies. It was too deep from him. Now, that's probably what you were saying earlier. Do they need to go deeper? Well, they probably felt like they could, and they misjudged it a little bit. One brief moment of misexecution from anyone's legend. They've rarely done that so far in this game. Weibo just about survived through what could have been, a full court press. So this is the start of it. The Herald went topside. They find Xiaohu and JJ stood together. It's just, there's no follow-up. He goes too far. If you have... Look,
Shanks come in after, maybe, yeah.
Well, if you have Shanks in range to DPS or Hope in range to DPS, maybe you can think about it. Even then, the Shockwave is probably enough CC under the turret to cause some issues. JJ now getting jumped on by a lone Bard. Yep, that's what he can do now, Kyle. He is that strong.
I say, I'm seeing a fair amount of AP in there because he's got the Fiendish Codex as well. Between the Blood Racer and the Fiendish Codex, like, just some of those base autos are beginning to become very annoying for Bard.
Yeah, that slow we saw in that mid lane earlier led to Elk getting caught out with the ult afterwards, and poor Elk felt like laning phase kind of ended, that skirmish went wrong, and he's just not been able to play the game. 2.5k down. It's very rare to see the Corki actually work into the Nymaera. For me, the big difference has been about the support matchup, really. And I think that Kyle has utterly ran over the spot side. Once again, when you think about anyone's legend, really the first thoughts go towards the jungle support.
Yeah.
They have, besides that one under top tower, have been excellent.
Hey Niamuji, thanks for the resub. I see you, baby. Come on in, that's the one.
Yeah, no, we are brothers, folks. We are brothers. Let's keep that clear.
It was very funny because I remember that initial comment. It was like, yep, no.
Yeah.
I do remember a really good friend of mine in Japan when I sort of posted saying, hey, we just moved in. It was like, okay, when he was like, look, got the new place. It was like, yeah, it was like, no.
Wow, I didn't realize you were,
yeah. And it's like, oh my guy, no. I appreciate you being very supportive, but no.
Yeah. We're brothers, folks. Anyway, Elk is up in mid. This could... Hang on, Elk is... It's a little dangerous for him to push up like that. You can see that way, but they're trying to fight quite hard to put vision down. And they have, for the first time, got vision down into the enemy jungle, into the blue side. Tarzan's now walking forwards, using that standard to kind of cheat vision by giving that vision in the brush, allows you to clear out stuff like these control wards. Anyone's Legend, once again, just encroaching on enemy territory.
6,000 gold up. Lots of turrets to none, by the way. Potential ability to defend. At least you got a couple items. Elk at the Fiend Hunter Bolt, so the first few autos will be really dangerous. You can catch someone out. But it just feels like even if you catch one, the extended fights are so frustrating here. I don't know how easy it's going to be to turn things around. Flandre is being run at. Not asked to ult as yet. Still continue to run away. There's the healing shrines in front of him. It is now forced to ult.
Okay, just a quick run at him. Ult for nothing. Weibo have been trying to set up for that second level ultimate coming through from the Nocturne. Hasn't really been given any space to breathe by anyone's Legend. Credit to them, anyone's Legend have done the warding back end. They've been able to do enough of that to keep themselves safe from it. Weibo, they just fell too far behind early. This was one of the worries, was that, look, while we do think that potentially, thank you so much for the resub, Zarif, by the way. One of the worries that we had was, Weibo, are they going to be able to stand up in lane and the early game to anyone's Legend outside of that top lane? I'm thinking because the Scion came in, actually, Zerk has not been able to be that pressure valve in the top lane. Flandre has been completely fine, despite him struggling in the other series. Baron is now completely blacked out of vision, and anyone's Legend could start at their leisure.
Definitely could. Again, you are still into a Nocturne, one of the better options to steal Baron, because you can do so from a long, long way away. It's very difficult to keep a Nocturne out of the pit. Same sort of deal with things like Lee Sin, with Jarvan, all these champions with very hard to interrupt modes of access to the pit. It is going to be started nonetheless. Are we going to turn and burn? Looking for the fight after, down to 3,000 HP. There's the paranoia. He's in! Oh! That was bloody close. Not going to get the steal. GG, Prince of Thieves. Alas, this time, unable to claim the crown.
If only they weren't in a significant amount of debt, Sam. If only they'd chosen their stock options better. They're down just way too much gold. The combo comes in, and they very nearly one-shot the Corki. It's just not enough. They're down too much gold in mid lane, and the Nocturne's not doing enough damage. Weibo try to go for something, and it feels like that'll be the last gas now. If they couldn't... hang on, here they go.
That's not bad. Public execution. Shanks gets to go gold, but I don't think it will save him. Tempered Fate a little late, and they get the kill. Good work there from Ura. Potential flank angle. Tarzan with a GA. Flashes for the Cataclysm. Ura trapped with him, but that'll be the untouchable shadow out from Elk at the very least. But they will punish the Alistair. JJ is still dead.
Yes, Shanks is down, means that they don't have... JJ is alive now, so he's back up. They could potentially look... Well, they don't have the Shockwave combo back up. They're going to walk in with the rest of the Baron, but bad mistake from Shanks, honestly. That's an easy one to give over. I have to say, Shanks has not started this split particularly hot. He was definitely second best in the BLG series, and against JDG, I don't feel like he was exceptional either.
Good most of the games, to be fair, so far, but that's an unfortunate mistake to make. I completely agree.
Yeah, I think just looking at the wider picture of the split, we just don't think he's coming in on the best form. And right there, that one's bad, because that one actually does. You know, this you are very far ahead. There is no reason to do that. You have plenty of safety. Just reset with the rest of your team or play a little bit more back. Shouldn't be giving over free advantages like that. In a worse game state, that could potentially punish you around the next objective. You know, what this has meant now is that actually there could be a contest over the dragon in 30 seconds. I think because Shanks died, anyone's Legend have not been able to just hyper push in across the map.
No, exactly. Tarzan will go in and be able to pick up some of that. Weibo Gaming. Hold your breath, Weibo fans. I think this might be your first turret of the game.
Yay! Hey, let's have steak dinner to celebrate.
Right? will burn the ultimate. Try and run away, little cow. He's not that little.
Oh, wonderful!
Really.
It's on Weibo, folks. Thanks. They've footed the bill for that meal. Has gone down for the 5th time this game. He struggled, hasn't he? They picked into a hard lane matchup. The fights have gone against them, and typically, if you're a losing melee support, you look pretty bad in the KDA department. They should move into K-pop. I hear that's a very open industry right now.
Yeah.
KDA, I think that would work pretty well. Flandre ults into the mid lane. Shockwave coming in.
That's a pretty good combo. Kyle now down. Flag and Drag goes wide as JJ flashes out to safety. Kill secure, but only onto the support. Does keep the tower alive.
As they use the Azir turret to keep themselves up. So technically, I suppose it's 1-for-1 in supports across the last minute, but with Kyle dead for the next 20 seconds,
Dragon's out.
can't do that much. And Kyle wasn't quick enough on the trigger to pull something like the ult out to stop the Nocturne Orianna combo, which again, you can sometimes do. Dragon started, the Weibo think about contesting. It is only the 3rd one. They might have a look in. We'll see how big they really feel like can make this.
Shahu just back to the death cap. In they go. Dragon secured over the wall. They are out. Dragon gets them soul point.
Yeah, Zucker has 3 items. I wonder if he was feeling it just a little there. Just a little. Weibo lose that dragon. Anyone's Legend. They'll reset, come back out onto the map, and you have to think at some point they've got to start really breaking the base.
Yeah.
Breaking the base. Now, will it take a Baron to do that? Feels like Weibo with that Knockwave combo. Sam, they really want protein, Sam. Give them the beef.
TP in as well. Elk needs to pick a different angle out. The vision of the jungle pretty dark. Magical journey over. Tarzan now sent forward, as is Sion. Elk forced to flash, but where do you run? As you finally get to E out of the cataclysm, but it means you're not DPSing elsewhere. The shockwave turnaround is solid enough, but unfortunately, Zucker's still down, as is Nocturne. Zhe dies, and Shahu gets flagged and dragged under the water. A triple kill to Hope, so they want to give him a little bit more. No, they will not. GA is still broken there by the turret. Tarzan will be able to drop the tower aggro, gives himself a golden Aegis, and is out to safety.
I think, folks, this might be the end of the game. There's a wave coming down mid lane and Weibo. They don't have enough guns to point at the oncoming invaders now. I think anyone's Legend will at least break the base. To be honest, folks, I think they'll just crush the Nexus. 5 alive. Weibo, they have their carries to defend. Erha is back, does have flash, does not have ultimate. I think they see the end.
I think they do. 10 seconds realistically on anyone valuable coming up in the 3v5 they have to play. Shahu backsteps the tempered fake. Kyle flashes away as aggro is coming on down on top of him. The decimating smash to flag and drag. The 4-man pulverized there from Ura is not enough to turn things around. So the next turret's fall. The next itself under siege. Zucker here, lots of low health bars, could try, but the public execution airballs because of the arm guard. Not bad from Zucker. Elk still free firing. They might hold. They're gonna damn well try the flag and drag. Finally brings it up. Elk is cataclysmed, and the end of days come to Weibo's game, and anyone's Legend finish it up in style.
They do it Demacia style. Tarzan leading the charge. Jungle support domination from anyone's Legend against Weibo. We thought maybe the top lane matchup would go a little better for Weibo. Then Zucker did get ahead eventually. It just wasn't enough, and it wasn't early enough. The teamfight execution leaving a lot to be desired from Weibo. They were clearly second best in these fights, and the carries were just not in the position to do the damage that they needed to. Thank you, Durex. As we'll come back to us. Hello, my name's Nymaera, this is Initialise. We're brothers, and we cast League of Legends occasionally, every now and again. You might have seen so they tell us, folks. I know, it's incredible. And anyone's Legend started this split very poorly, which is why we had to ask those questions. Say, well, actually, Flandre individually hasn't been looking good, and Zucker has been. Is that actually going to be a win condition? Clearly not in this game. Weibo also having a rocky start, having a victory over Invictus Gaming, and then losing a couple of series, including the BLG as well. They lost that somewhere along the way. Weibo, can they now bounce back in this series? The big question for me will be asking whether they can get more out of that top lane matchup and not throw those early fights in a way that completely invalidates Zucker, because I don't feel like he was able to play that game. It was just over before he even turned up to any of the big fights.
Had something, don't anymore. That's disappointing. Pretend I said something valuable, guys. Something really insightful. I don't have it right now. What I will say, guys, if you've not hit the follow button, please do. Again, 26 followers off 10,000 on Twitch would be really awesome to hit. I see you guys all over on YouTube as well. Lovely to see you over there. Thank you again. And over in Anivia's channel as well. Thank you very much. Make sure you're liking and commenting. It does help keep the algorithm showing us cool, showing our stuff being cool. And that is quite nice for everyone who's doing that one. If you've got that additional capacity, Ko-fi is a great way to donate to us, as is subscribing on Twitch. Again, we are doing this basically off our own backs every day of the damn week, so any support you can give us is a massive, massive deal, especially because we're no longer in any official broadcasts as yet. Hopefully that changes across the year, but for now, we are a little bit landlocked, so to speak. We'd love to sail the seas of broadcast once more with your assistance. I don't know whether that metaphor works, but alas, is where I have taken us, and so you must get marooned with me in some far-off sea of thoughts.
I'm happy.
I've been playing with Disco Elysium.
It's a great game.
It
Yeah,
is.
by the way, folks, after we're done with LPL, we're going to introduce you League Onlys to other games at some point.
Exactly.
Folks. So at the end of last year, I ended up taking the stream we were doing from ASI, and I put it into. I started doing Ghost of Yotei after that, so I played through all of Ghost of Yotei, and then I played through Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 a little bit later too, and then you've started doing Disco Elysium. So eventually, folks, we will actually we're going to start upskilling you. We're going to start giving you some real artiste gaming experiences
Exactly.
now and then. I'm going to start doing Hades 2 at some point.
Oh, I need to do that one
play through
too.
Yeah,
I've got it on Switch 2 now as well.
Yeah,
So,
I need to start playing Hades 2 because it's a really, really good game.
Dun.
Okay, so folks, this I suppose a bit of a spoiler, but I'm going to be on Power Spike for this year, so I'm going to be part of that as a podcast, and that's going to be happening.
This evening?
This morning at some point. So I got to dip out of this for like an hour to do that. And I'm
Gotcha.
just figuring out if it's going to happen over this next game. I think it is. If it's not, no. It's refined, Harold. And if you think it's snobby, then I'm sorry, you just don't have good taste. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's it.
What can I say?
Yeah. So who's going to be on Power Spike with you?
I'm not going to spoil that. I mean, they'll announce it when they announce it. I don't know when they announce it, but I'm going to be on it. So
That's cool.
I think it's the regulars they had from last year in terms of Dom, Degon. Yeah. Okay, been a pleasure seeing you on Something Inside. Thank you. I mean, yesterday was a little bit strange because obviously we did it mid-LEC, so we didn't get to react to all of those games. Like, we had some hot takes on the Rats, right? And actually the third game was better, but hopefully people can understand it's literally in that moment. Should play It Takes Two as a replacement for Brothers Therapy. I have actually played through that game.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Played with my ex. We had a great time.
I also play with my ex. And,
but neither exes. What does that say?
yeah, it's not really giving itself a good track record there, has it? Which LEC team looks strongest after week 1? Well, MKOI were, and then they completely threw it without. Well, I don't know whether we'll see what they can do without Nymaera.
That's very true. And again, we're only seeing best of ones with very similar drafts. So
best of ones are best of ones, folks. I mean, there's so many 2-in-1 teams. Not Vitality. I really don't like their drafts. Na'Vi have been the biggest surprise.
they've also been very good early, which I wasn't expecting to be so good early.
Yeah, and MKOI got absolutely shift on.
I'm saving that one.
AC have been a bit weak early, and they've been a little bit.
Roland and Kalista saved them, but more than I would like.
Yeah, Fnatic have been a bit ropey in early game too at points. I mean, GT.
Genuinely don't know.
It's still probably MKOI, but then they got blasted versus Shifters. This is the problem with best of ones and only 3 games played. There's so many teams all in about it. It's probably MKOI from the first 2 games. And best of ones are somehow even worse with Fearless. No correlation to the rest of this. Yeah, best of 1 Fearless. Woo!
The thing is, if you want to do this, if you want to do this, then what you actually do is you say, look, for the duration of best of ones, we have hardcore Fearless. Every champion picked is now off the table.
No, not for best of ones.
Just do it and just have it off the table for the first 4 weeks, so you have to play like Fizz in week 4.
That would just be so bad.
I mean, you'd lose 60 champions in day 1, though.
Sam,
I think that would probably end up meaning we don't have enough champions.
Sam, I would despise that. Sam, I would despise it. Now, the thing is, I want to see the best League of Legends, and removing people's best champions is not the way to get best League of... Whatever. Emperor's been running it down a bit. He had one good game. The first game he played was pretty good. And then, yeah.
Like, I believe in Emperos, I do. I think he's just going to need a little bit of time. There's a fair number of, like, I think particularly for the top laners, there's a lot of very promising rookies that have finally made their way to the LEC, been deserving of the job for a while. I'm thinking Tracyn, I'm thinking Mainter, I'm thinking Emperos. Obviously, you know, Nako came up last year. Like, these are all top laners who've been very, very good in ERL for a very long time.
Yep.
And I think a lot of people were decrying the state of EU top lane for a while. And these are the guys who are potentially that next generation to come on in. The problem is they're also going up against people like Wonder, who I actually think has had a fairly decent start to the split. Not perfect, but the Kennen game was great there.
Yeah.
And there are people who've been playing for a very damn long time to a very high level. And there's just a bit of a learning curve, guys. So give a lot of these newer top laners in particular a little bit of grace. They're going to need a split. They may int a few games, and you don't just dismiss them off 4 weeks of regular season play. Have that conversation in the spring. Right now, that's you can have initial thoughts, but don't necessarily pass judgment like permanently until a few months down the line. Development prospects are a big deal.
Oh, you're talking about your are you talking about one of like your Matchco boys, Harold? Your top laners who've been in the Hope? Hey, Demolition. Tarzan player of the game, no surprise there.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna have to start getting set up, at least a setup in the other room,
That's
just
fine.
so I can get a Discord available, so I can be on Power Spike.
Yeah, go get yourself sorted. Do you need camera and stuff as well?
Yeah, I will.
That's fine. I go through NVIDIA Broadcast, so you may just need to change the blur settings. Right. But that'll be fine. Tell me if you need a hand. "100% KP, ain't bad. 23% damage share on a Jarvan, ain't bad either. One of the very best junglers in the world is still, in fact, really, really damn good. What do you know?" So, full disclosure, guys. Yeah, I think that's fair. The club also voted for Kyle. I think that's also fine. But I think on the whole, the players and everyone else went, yeah, Tarzan was really bloody good. I think that's pretty reasonable. But little heads up. Basically, we've changed the ad frequency on Twitch. Basically, because if we don't do so many ads within an hour, we lose like 30% of the ad revenue, which is pretty bloody ridiculous. And considering we're trying to make this a living, like dropping 30% of ad revenue and running less ads really isn't feasible. So it's like, okay, we just have to run more ads. But that probably means over the break we'll be running quite a lot of ads, guys. I hate to say it, but that's just the way it is, because otherwise we don't get paid. Because Twitch basically said, yeah, you get 55% if you do this many ads in an hour, and you get 25% if you don't. And we went, okay, I guess we run more ads. Which is, you know, it's just the way of these things. Oh, ACD. Yeah, Acidy, yeah. He was... I think Acidy was a bit flippy, and I needed to see better from his champion pool, but he was very good at the things he did. Right, I need to mute this before we get in trouble from... oh, we got to do it via the bloody... By the... hate that it's done this way. Alright, that's going to get muted briefly. I'll stick Spotify on instead, because I can. Give me create a safe. Riot. Yeah, we have to do this or we get done in by weird copyright strikes. It's very annoying. I need to run some more ads, probably. Because otherwise we won't do enough in the hour. So yeah, we're trying to fit like X amount of minutes of ads before the games, guys. It's the basic plan. Oh, I can't run ads yet. How long do I need to wait? A little while. Okay. Morning. The first week, what teams are looking strong? BLG look really back. Not perfect, but back. Who else looks good? I think AL have been mixed. JDG look pretty solid. Not perfect, but pretty solid. I think having Junja and Honkyu come in as a really cool pairing. Bot lane's fun. They will have a bit of teething problems to get rolling, but I have hope that they will get to a point of power. Again, you're still losing some fairly significant members, but we'll see how that goes. Outside of that, who else am I missing here? There's hope. Oh, these perks are fun. Fun fact. Yeah, what's a good fun fact? Here's the ads. Unmute this now as well. We're back into regular stuff. What's a fun fact for you? Thank you for the follows, guys. Really appreciate it. We need 23 more to get towards... Oh, even less. We need 21 more to hit 10,000. Can we hit 10,000 followers before the end of the day? That would be really, really awesome. What else are we thinking? What else are we thinking? Fun fact: Nymaera was in a Heimer montage. I'm normally really good with my fun facts. I'm struggling a little bit here. The end of a shoelace, the bit on the end of a shoelace called an aglet, which you may know from TV show Phineas and Ferb, where they had a whole thing about it. Thank you for those, Cationi. Ice cream cake. Ice cream cake. Sorry, there we go. Ace Creed, Capiat, and Gebir. Appreciate you all for joining as well. But yeah, an aglet is the end of a shoelace, as also explained on Phineas and Ferb, which was a whole thing. So a lot of people know it, ironically, via Phineas and Ferb. I have no idea what this little thing is showing, but there you go. Back to us in the audience here. MCOY got shifted, yeah, that's the one. Thank you for the English stream. Anytime, Menza. As we said, pretty much anytime, actually. We're doing quite a lot of work here. +1 knowledge. There you go. For next game, I need to see Weibo have a little bit more early agency. Elk, when he doesn't have a winning lane state, is a bit miserable. I don't think that game was Elk's fault. I don't really know what more he's supposed to do. But we have seen when Weibo winning, it's normally off the fact that Elk has just giga-stomped. We've seen 2 Kai'Sa games from this guy now, and both of them have been unbelievable stomps. Like, ridiculous stomps. He dropped a 19-kill game and like a 15-kill game, both of which were unreal. Unreal strong. That has to be the way forwards. Right, before we get into draft, I'm going to get myself a cup of coffee, so I'm good to go. I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to just check Al doesn't need anything either, but I am around. I see everyone's getting towards draft, so I promise we will be here very, very shortly. You all good, Alex?
Okay, folks, into drafts. So, sorry there, folks. Had to do that thing where we set up on another PC. Draft, second game, Anyone's Legend Weibo. We're looking for a better top lane matchup for Zucker. Something that he can actually, like, really start to punish Flandre on. With that in mind, what helps with that? What helps with that? The Vi first pick that allows for Talia, Ari for Xiaohu. Those are the two big picks that I think of. Anyone's Legend, do they have a safe blind pick top lane? I'd like to look. And look in the Rise. And the Kiana. So Rise Kiana is a very powerful mid-jungle because the Rise point and clicks for the Kiana to do unspeakable things. Now Vi can point and click the Kiana, but up until level 6, Kiana just kind of power clears and has a lot more AoE damage, of course. Okay, so you see the mid-jungle. Oh, come on, please. That'll be so fun. That's actually a really great pick here. Vi sets up for the Vex. Please, come on. Oh, that would have been so fun. They lock in Syndra, which is a Xiaohu specialty. I know he had a bad game on it the other day. They don't go for the Vex, which I thought would have actually been wonderful. I think that would have been a really fun pick, actually. Oh, man. I'm thinking about... That renects him. Now, that's something which can really play through the early game. Does Flandre need to go towards something like Cassante right now? Maybe that's the idea. Cassante, very, very stable. Just saying that we've got the Rise Kiana classic.
Oh, yes.
The other side, Xiaohu was hovering Vex after the Vi got locked in. And I thought that would have been a really fun duo, actually. I would have really enjoyed that. Rek'Sai or Cassante were going to be the options for safe lane as he goes towards the Rek'Sai.
It's his specialty.
It is a specialty. I will say he is the one person who's made it look good, but it is a matchup he can fall behind in as well, and Zucker is a really good Renekton.
Yeah.
I do think Weibo are happy having a better matchup to actually snowball through top lane with than that last game.
Yeah, and
I'll leave you with it.
we've seen 2 games from Flandre where one game where it's gone phenomenally well from the Rek'Sai early on, first series, and another one where it was absolutely abysmal, where he ended up becoming a lost condition. He fell behind that far. He was one of those ones who went at the turret, took turret shots, and had a bad time. Thank you for the follow by this, so cringy. Thank you for your support, my friends. Welcome on in. Again, we are looking for 21 followers today if we can make it happen. What else are we looking at now? Leona off the board, Rakan off the board. It's those engaged supports that can follow up on some of these big pick attempts. Rek'Sai, Rise, Kiana, all looking for those upfront burst combos and pick up. It's similarly for Weibo, right? Scatter the Weak, Ruthless Predator is how that word is in fact pronounced. Plus the Vial, that cease and desist. Very, very scary single target denial. Someone like Tarzan's got to pick his moment very carefully, where he can get jumped on very, very aggressively. Kai'Sa away from Elk. Just don't give him that champion, guys. Just don't. It's a bad time. He's been exceptional. Exceptional on the Kai'Sa. You could have locked it in 4, and that would have been alright, because again, Hope has been a phenomenal Kai'Sa himself over the years. Ruthless, exactly. We're into full Ruthless drafting now. Don't want to speaking like this, but we are. Morning, Sylv. Speaking like this now, how many accents can we go through as we get into second phase of picks and bans? Hope's Misfortune is in fact very good, very lane dominant. Aphelios would be more of the hyper carry option, would potentially enable you to do something like the Lulu a little more freely. MF Lulu would suck. Shout out to Fnatic last year who tried that one, it just didn't really work out for them. Duocast, it was a duocast. Alex had to go do a podcast briefly, so he's disappearing. So it's me for now. Hopefully we'll get Alex back, but otherwise, I shall be taking you through this game at the very least. So for now, you just have to deal with me. I know. A real tragedy. Sivir away from Hope was the last ban there. They lock in that Misfortune finally. Big AoE to follow up on the supreme display of talent on top of the Rune Prison. Can be a little difficult to deal with. What are we locking in now? Are we going for the AD carry? Aphelios. Then you get that ability to lock in something a bit more spicy. Some great hovers here from Elk, and he will go towards the Lucian. Our first Lucian, I believe, of the split in the LPL. Did miss a game or two, but I'm pretty sure that will be a deadly combo alongside the Braum. Very good. Braum plus some melees to get some work done. The culling to help set things up. Good skirmishing and single target annihilation from Weibo Gaming. Potentially looking for a bit more AOE here, RAL. Kyle's Rel is one of his most iconic champions, arguably his iconic champion, really. I need to hop out and get rid of that. Why have we scrolled back up? Goodbye. Weird ad. I'll need to keep an eye on this one. Where do the headphones go? There they went. Okay, so AL, fantastic team fight. Really, really dangerous AoE. That first bit of pick will lead to some monstrous follow-up ultimates. If Kiana and Misfortune get a big ult, even for half the duration of the Misfortune ult, with the Rel ult on top, and the Rune Prez, and with the Rek'Sai going in, it's a bad time for Weibo Gaming. Weibo, on the other side, though, dangerous single target pick against a team that really no one can justify getting hit by a Vial. If you're hit by the Vial into a Syndra stun, into culling and unleashed power, you are dead. And there are some tools here with things like the Braum to make some of those attempted dives from people like the Rel and the Kiana not as simple as it might otherwise be. Of course, Braum Door, always fantastic into Misfortune. Keep your eyes on that one. If you do see Ura manage to get the door up in the way of the MF ult, it would be a really good way to kind of deny a fairly significant portion of what can otherwise be a very dangerous combo. The Huya feed has done its Huya feed thing. Don't worry, guys. It'll reload in a second or two. It'll skip forward just a touch. Run that last minute of ads so we don't get them in-game. Was that a Conquer Online ad? Probably was. It's because the clean feed is now on Huya X9. Huya just delivers us random ads for Chinese games. So if you know the game, the answer is probably yes. But if you see him on Huya, that's what it's from. It's not us adding you on that one, but we have just added you now for 50-odd seconds. Get onto the ref, listen to the gyros, and then get into game proper. The War of the Wards currently going the way of AL, though the course second ward does get placed down, and that will work out just fine. Carl started with the sweeper, with the additional trinket. Oh, such dramatic music. Alright, Demacia Rising. Really like AL's draft, just a bit worried for Shanks. Agreed. Though he could be a bit of a kingmaker here. The Rise Kiana combo is dangerous, guys. Very dangerous. For those of you who don't follow it, there's the crash down on top of Elk. We'll get the heal, but then the Braum pass is going to start stacking on the Rel, who does not move very fast when she's waddling around dismounted. AL, statistically, expected to win out early and go towards Weibo Gamer. But again, it's only really a 1% flick back and forth, so it's not like absolutely decisively one way or another. But you can sort of see why. That first set of ultimates, very dangerous, Maya, if they can start snowballing with it. The Misfortune, the Kiana, the Rise, all very, very good at setting things up in the early game. Whereas Weibo, you do get that a little bit later. Those individual picks, the fact that you don't have to fully commit to go looking for some dangerous moments can be very, very scary. Very easy to catch someone out of position and immediately delete them late on in the game. Not a lot you get to do about it as this comp. Loving this dramatic music, guys. I like the Braum Lucian, but the Vi is a bit misplaced. Vi is fantastic with the Syndra, and it does give you a go button. So you will have follow-up for the Vi. I agree, Vi is diving alone. Largely, Renekton can sort of join. But Braum and Renekton can do a little bit to help set up. And basically what it means is, whoever the Vi ults will get hit by a Syndra stun, will have everyone else jumping on them with their big R button. So it's not quite as simple as that. Especially if you do go, you know, 2 for 1 having done so. It can be very, very dangerous. Of course, got to be able to do that. But it's not a done deal by any means. Bot lane a lot more even this time around. Elk actually getting to play the game. Thank goodness for that. Elk always been a fantastic Lucian. Back when it was last truly meta, the Lucian Nami meta on BLG. He was one of the very best in the league. Up to 9,980 followers on Twitch. Thanks to Myed70 there. Appreciate you following. We need 20 more, guys. 20 more. Anyone else fancy joining us? Load of viewers in here today, by the way. Lovely having you all in Twitch. See you all on YouTube as well. Solid viewers on YouTube as well. You know what? The YouTube thing's working. I'm happy about that. And I see you all over in Anivia's channel as well. Glad to see some decent viewer attention. Always nice to have, huh? Not too much happening here in the early game. Tarzan has made his way down. But it's worth noting Carl just dismounted. Stream popping off. That's the plan, guys. We've got to keep up the grind and keep going. Especially if we want to make this a viable option. JJ with a potential lane gank will likely walk over a ward here. Puts down the control ward, spots it out. And that will just allow Elk and Ura to get the shove in. Tarzan's around on his Krugs, but I don't think he's that interested in fighting again. The Kiana, her threat comes once she's gotten that first item, really. Hey, Sir Cringe, thank you for the subscription for 2 months. Your knighthood is well earned. My liege. That's fun. Go do it for it.
So I'm gonna have to jump out for this game and we'll be back for the next series first. We'll talk about what's happening right. Well, no one's died yet. That's a good start. And Zook has already got the push in, got the CS, and that's what they wanted. Top lane matchup, they can actually snowball and do something with it.
Great. I haven't actually touched on top lane yet, so good addition to the thing. Elk's back on his Lucian.
He's very good at that.
Yeah.
He's very good at it.
So lots of dangerous pick and burst from Weibo. Hit the cease and desist. Everyone else presses R. You have a bad time. Other side, the AoE death of Rise, Misfortune, Kiana. Pressing R.
Yeah, if Shanks actually gets to hold someone in front of him, they are very, very dead. Also, Kyle's route, very, very
It's
good.
his champion, right?
He's very, very good at that, so we'll see whether he can get those huge 4-man engages in the way that he did to have great impact versus BLG, even in the loss. And yeah, Weibo, watch out for that support.
All right, go forth and do your side quest. I'll hold down the main mission for now. Don't worry, Galfalol, don't worry about it. It was because he was talking from a slightly different angle. So, no stress. I appreciate you giving us a heads up. It's basically running off one microphone setup here. I think if things change, we may look to try and do a 2-mic setup. Nice little attempt at an invade. Tarzan. Blast Shield will prevent too much follow-up there. Doesn't find everything he was looking for. Ah, who your feet is fine. It'll jump forward again in a second. Can't hear Nymaera. Don't worry, he's left now. He'll be back in a second or two. Well, he'll be back in an hour or so. It's just me this game, alas. YouTube stream is crisp. Love to hear it. Xiaohu. Oh, room prison. Double Ice Blade is very lovely. Stun lands, but they're in vision TP behind. They need to run. Oh boy, split Wome. As the Realm Warps to run through, Xiaohu has to flash as well. You know what? Not bad from AL there. Blondre didn't really have that much to teleport to. Remember, there's no flash. They're looking for Xiaohu. Tempted to use the Tremor Sense there to find something more. Can't quite do it. How are volumes sounding now, by the way, folks? Are we happy enough with the levels of music and myself? Especially because I'm here and Alex hasn't adjusted those necessarily, so it's on me. On me. As they say. Zucker will get his Conquest Act, dice away. Sounds great, fantastic. Volume's all good. Great enough for multiple chats. Thank you very much, Andre and Neo. My opinion, the music is a bit too loud, slightly distracting. Okay. If anyone else agrees with Pinterest, I'll adjust it. I think it is honestly just quite bombastic music. I think the music is just very bombastic in this version of Summoner's Rift. It's not very subtle music. Unless, hang on. Wait. Spotify was playing in the background. It was Silas thinking, wow, they've really added some bombastic music. It was Mage Seeker music. It's because I put on, it's while Huya had its, I was thinking, wow, that's wonderful music. How bombastic is this? I was thinking, wow, that's new music. That fits. And of course, because it is Demacia music, but it's from the Mage Seeker game they made. I put it on because we muted Huya during the ad break because of the dodgy ads, the ones that get copyright straight. And I'm thinking, wow, they really have added some new music to Summoner's Rift. That's great. Elk eats a bullet time and has a bad time with it. But that explains it. You know what? Pinterest, I owe you one there because I went, let me just double check something. Oh, God. It was good. Keep it. You know what? I could be tempted. For the record, the song was. The song was. We've got a little grub start here, so maybe I have to hold on looking up music. I am going to have to hold on looking up that. Okay, people put it away. But it was Silas, Jarvan the Fourth, and Shyvana, the boss fight. Between Silas, Jarvan, and Shyvana, I guess. Ooh, Supreme Display of Talent. Never mind those guys from Demacia. How about these guys from Ixtal? As in goes Flandre with the Void Rush. Gets himself a kill there onto Zucker. Went flashing forward to get Shark there on the turnaround. Flash, cease and desist, and they will bring down Shanks as well. Good punish from Weibo. They'll still lose the grubs, but at least they make it the 1-for-1. Nice from Zhe there to get some value. He's always been a great fight. Always been one of his specialties as well. That explains so much. Thinking, wow, Summoner's Rift has gotten some really bombastic music. And it did. Because I'd added it. Oh. Well, now everything sounds a lot more chill. I think this TV and it's not enough for the new Twitch app. Well, I tend to use a Fire Stick because that way it doesn't matter how smart your TV is. Smart then. Yeah, Sylv, absolutely been there. Now it's dead. I know. Maybe we have to think about adding some. You know what? I'll have a chat with Alex, because the thing is, obviously, it does make it a very different vibe with music on. And so over in, for example, the LFL producers don't do music. Most other ERLs do. LEC has a little bit. LCK has some. LPL doesn't have the Summoner's Rift music. Or it does have a little bit. It sometimes have the... But it depends on which production team is doing it. So I don't think they're doing it here, but they were at... Where were they? I think they were in Suzhou. They were doing it. Game is suddenly much less intense. I know. I'm kind of missing it, guys. I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of missing it. Just, yeah, just some death metal over the game. Oh, Not really. Can't really do a full guttural right now as we need to be a bit quiet. Oh! Good interrupt on the flash there. Xiaohu flexing on the Syndra. Had a tough game on it yesterday where he hinted away a few moments. Yesterday went CDR boots. He did. I think he feels like he has to get full burst this game, Gathalol. I think this game, because he's not into big HP stack, because he just needs to hit R and make people suffer. So I think this will be a bit more of a... He might go... Blackfire still, because it's very good, but I think he can justify the pen boots, especially his soul AP. He'll sting really hard with it, so I think that's a perfectly reasonable option. Realm forwards, looking to get a catch on this bot side. Out comes the Glacial Fissure. Shanks left in a dangerous spot, but the Supreme Display of Talent leaves Ura out to the Wolves. The bullet time, the Make It Rain slow. Hope cancels it as Elk is left at half HP, and suddenly Hope and Kyle getting a lot of value here. Flandre going to try and clear up this wave. JJ going to look to potentially dive onto Flandre. He's got another turret to work with. Tunnel to work with. Whee! And escapes off his Great Escape tunnel system. Today is all with burst with Vi, it seems. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense, right? I think that means your mid-jungle by the two of them will be a kill threat, which I think is completely viable. I'm not against that at all. Finally rotating bot lane mid. Worth noting, of course, Weibo have not completed the bot lane quest. Slight skip here. Hopefully won't be too long. Nocturne ulted by Huya. There's that slight stutter. From the game, not from me. I'm a perfectly smooth operator of the English language. A little bit of a stun there in mid lane. Mid lane now is basically you either go tank boots and play for Tekken Down and Spike, or look to snowball, or dark steel pen, or dark steel pen boots. Last chapter. Yeah, I think there's also don't sleep on Crimson Lucidity. A lot of mid laners are also going Crimson Lucidity. That extra amount of ability haste is really strong on a lot of mages to cycle through rotations, especially if you go things like the Blackfire with it. So don't sleep on that option as well. I think that's often pretty keen. pretty regularly seen as well. Damn, Elk fell off. I don't think Elk's necessarily the problem again this game. Like, what do you do? I think he was playing out just fine early, but I think it was a really good gank. And again, Misfortune's very scary early on, and Hope is a very good Misfortune. Hope has his issues, especially when he falls behind the game or he's attacked. He can be pretty anemic from behind the game. And I think he's less of a flashy carry than someone like Elk. Maybe a bit of turnaround now. Again, with the Bloodthirst, not necessarily going to mean all that much. The passive stacks don't land on Kyle. Need a Nocturne ultimate. Oh, you know what? I'll raise that one. That's a good thought. Is there a correlation between working as a caster and having ADHD? I think it does help. You'll find a lot of streamers have ADHD. Because it allows us to kind of be interested in lots of things at once between chat and games. So I've got 3 chats and games and loads of references going through my brain right now. The answer is harnessing it, right? ADHD makes certain things harder in your life. It makes certain things also a little easier, which includes some streaming stuff. There's a little bit of a jump there onto Kyle, who will crash down. Not out. Shattering Strike comes in through. Scuttle Crab, that's the name of that thing. I just went for them noises until I got the right one. I don't have ADHD and streaming was way too exhausting for me. I mean, I can see it, right? It's like permanent engagement, which is great for people who've got that capacity. But for other people, it's like, no, that's not for me, which is also completely reasonable. Bottom side turret picked up by Hope. Xiaohu could potentially threaten here. Hope will cleanse and flash away. Xiaohu threatening. Gonna throw up the ult. Oh, and gets the execute. Nicely done from Xiaohu. Zucker now in danger. Dodges a Shattering Step. Will still hit, but the Magnet Storm and Flondo will punish. 1 for 1. Hope nearly outplays, and in fairness, does get that first turret of the game, but I don't think he was expecting the phase rush speed to be as dangerous as it was through that Make It Rain. Allows him to ignore a fair amount of that slow and gets Hope into a spot of bother. Yeah, Sylv, completely get it. Unless you're on a pro broadcast where you get to do that, you do have to pay attention to other stuff as well. Again, because I'm solo casting, I pay more attention to chat. That does make a massive difference. I gotta say, Dyna Syndra as MF should be automatic center LVL. I think that's a little bit harsh. I think Hope sticking around for turret is fine. I think he should have flash W'd earlier, is the honest answer. And a little bit of disrespect there comes and hurts him. But he still does get the first turret. He's now at Collector as well, into a very squishy composition. I think it's kind of fine. Though I hear what you're saying. You probably shouldn't have been in a position where, having cleansed, that you were realistically at threat of being ulted out from 100 to 0. Can't finish reading my fave book, but do now know a fun fact about shoelaces. It's true. Aglets, guys. Remember them. Thank you for the follow there with Toxbox. Follower 9,983. And self-subscribe. Thank you very much. Courtesy of a gift sub from Grumpy. Appreciate you, Zareth. On to Dragon We Luck, though. This would be second for AL. Do they want to fight this? They don't see a damn lot in the river. Reminder, Hope, no flash, no cleanse. Very vulnerable to the pick options that Weibo Gaming are bringing. I paid 1k for Sam to ignore. What did you do? Hang on, what? What? What did you say? I've got lots happening. There's 3 chats. What did I miss? I'm not seeing anything here. Hang on, over they go. Did we get something in? Did we get something in Kofi or something? I don't see anything. Hang on, supreme display of talent. Bullet time. Oh, that's the combo. Yep. MF deletes Braum. Think I'm being overlooked today, but the Weibo Gaming hate is not very broadcast friendly. TFC, your hatred of Weibo Gaming is well known. But I am, again, somewhat trying to focus on game and not just chat. As if we could start a league podcast as highlighting message. Ah. Well, I have to bet that there are a couple bits in the works, so we shall see. But it will likely be ERL focused if it does happen. So worth noting. But good to know. We'll chat about that one in the break. Shanks. Get stunned. Goes looking for that realm warp, doesn't really find it. Looking for that crystallized proc in mid lane, will not find it. 2,000 gold lead in bot lane. Hope and Kyle have really made Elk's life tricky. Granted, this game, it was Tarzan and Shanks getting down there and costing 2 waves and a turret that really cost Elk, so I don't think it's entirely on him. Though, has the door down, at which point with the door down, it's just simple, especially with no scatter down. Tarzan over the wall. Bullet time, shattering strike. Very nicely done. Yeah, get new material, TFC. Check into Tarzan's inventory, by the way, who's 1,500 gold ahead on the Kiana, which happens when Kiana snowball, they snowball damn hard. Profane Hydra is the breakpoint, but now has Axiom Arc. Means that basically any good fight and the supreme display of talent is available again in very, very short order. It is very, very dangerous indeed. This is the combination where the Kiana really starts to take off. He is such a good Kiana. We're missing Kanavi, but I don't think Tarzan is showing too much slowing down even without his direct rival in the league. At one point, remember, Tarzan and Kanavi were rivals on Griffin. The Griffin Jungle Boys. Now split between leagues. Kanavi back over to the LCK. Tarzan trying to continue his reign of dominance here in the LPL. Attempted engage there forever, not fantastic. The overload comes on through looking for a rune prison. Disengage occurs. Ults for ults. No one dies. The crystallize still very much standing on this mid lane turret. Reminder, basically all those crystals on a turret act like a mega demolish proc. If you get to auto it once, you hit them for a lot. The turret plates don't fall off anymore, so you get a lot of gold from doing so as well. So for those still new to the new season. Charge! In they go. That's a little deep for JJ, but good stun onto Kyle. Causes him a lot of harm. The culling is on down. Gets that crystallized proc. Flandre looking, but he's on vision very much so. And Weibo Gaming forced for a fair amount of gold in mid lane. Grass blade out. It's the edge of Ixtal. Scout of the week lands. Tarzan in danger. Bullet time comes on forwards, but it's really only a 21 gun salute to the death of their jungler. Rune Prison though on JJ, who has gone on in. And again, both junglers get caught and die. Not a lot you get to do there, is it? And that's the threat of this comp from Weibo Gaming. You land that first bit of CC and the person who has it happen to them dies. The problem, as JJ is noting, is if he goes in, it's quite a lot of CC for him to then get blown up in turn. Hopefully AL closes this out. Not as simple as it may seem, but I agree they're in a great spot at this point. 3,000 gold up. Lots of carries as well. It means even if you do kill someone like that Kiana, who was a big threat, absolutely, it's not necessarily a guaranteed win afterwards, which can be a whole thing. Nice to see YouTube's having a good day today as well. I see all of you over there. Nearly 100 viewers over on YouTube, which is great considering that's a platform we've had a few worries with recently. Great blind scatter. You have a vague idea where he is, but Xiaohu lands it. The problem is, you're still into the bullet time. Jie, I think, unfortunately, has no real way out at this point, especially with the TP flying towards the other line bush. That's where your support is. You can't get there. Jie goes down as well. Slightly unfortunate for him. Control ward is not spotting that. What? Map geometry. What is that? Dragons in a minute. Baron is up. This fight could be very decisive, guys. Very decisive. He has... I don't think that's entirely fair at Perk God, because again, Xiaohu's Syndra has been legendary for a very long time. Remember, this guy used to play at top lane and smash people. I agree over the last couple years, it's not been good, but I think that is probably... I genuinely think that is unfair to say, because Xiaohu had his peak when he was winning like his second MSI on things like Tristana. He was like mashing Faker's Orianna. He was one of the first to pick up Tristana mid lane, solo killed Faker's Orianna with it, took over the game with it. So I don't think that's entirely fair. I grant you over the last couple years, he's definitely not been as dominant. But when he's on his game, he's very good. I think he has largely been laning quite well at the beginning of this split. It's been other things we've had issues with, like his teleports, his brain fades in key moments to get caught out, and his really awkward flanks. They're just too over-aggressive looking for plays and not respecting the turnaround potential. Tarzan now in the bush. Doesn't find too much. They can give up this dragon. It would be first dragon for Weibo Gaming. They may well look for this first plate in mid lane instead. And then the picture-in-picture, Flandre's getting a tier 2, which is great news. Wasn't Xiao like Giga goated last year? He had some moments. Basically, again, it was the year before, actually, where he was looking like he was completely washed out an immaculate summer playoffs run, where he really turned things back on again. He did pretty well in summer, if I remember, did Xiaohu. Just not well enough. No, I think you just get a horrible mix of flavors, Duo. Crazy both these teams are 1 and 2. I deservedly so, unfortunately, Leon. Oh, Lacon, sorry. Leon from this angle. It's completely wrong. AL, when they haven't won early game, have been very exploitable. And Weibo Gaming have been... How do I explain Weibo? Weibo have made some real brain fade moments where someone gets caught out and they throw all the advantages they've had. And they've sometimes just drafted in ways where we've gone, not sure about that, guys. I think this game, for example, they didn't really manage to deal with Tarzan and Shanks getting rolling on the rest of the map. And that allowed Hope to get fed, which allowed Tarzan to get fed off the kills. And it's kind of fallen away from there. And the mid game's been really problematic. It's not done yet, but people like Xiaohu in particular have been weirdly lost conditions where someone just makes a really dumb fucking move. Ura's had similar issues. Mid lane turret under siege. Ghost comes from Kyle, courtesy of the spell, but we pull away. But it is those kind of 90% of a good game, but the 10% that's really awful is so awful you throw the game. AL have had other issues, basically around poor laning phases, honestly. And the poor laning phase have meant they've not been able to play the game out very well. Not today, though. They've been playing quite well from lane. Flandre is quite strong on this Rex side. He's about to get jumped on, though. Finds himself in a 4v1 and will die looking for that flank. They don't get the turret either. And Flandre just gets blasted. Good pick off from Weibo Gaming. Their comp does its thing. Can you turn to Baron on that? Might be able to. Rune Prism down. Phase rush away from Shanks. Leaving Kyle a little out to dry, though. Flashes for the Blasco and gets out to safety, but has to burn the flash. Weibo Gaming, good last 20 seconds. Can turn to Baron. Kyle chunked out, flash blown. Man advantage, here we go. Tarzan, scary here. He's going to find Zucker. Throws out the edge of Ixtal. Ura forced to flash away himself. Then will stand behind me. Zhe, Xiaohu, potential threats, watch out. For that potential turnaround. They don't have the cease and desist. The point and click, not quite the same. Shanks over the back of this pit. Can start throwing out some overloads. Some spell flux, 6,000 HP. It will be a smite fight into the pit. Supreme display of talent available, 3,000 HP. The shockwave. Sorry, the scatter the weak. There's a supreme display of talent. Down to 2,000 HP. It's a smite fight. There is won by Tarzan. Hope murders 2. They need to back away as the realm warp comes on in. No, not like this. Nocturne, leave us alone. I want to see how the fight is going. There's that little look on him. We are going to skip forward. I know it. I know it. I know it. They can look for some more. The Make It Rain comes on down. And unfortunately, as we expected, the time skip is in as AL find themselves a team fight win. Weibo look to turn the pick. The chunks they had into Baron. They can't stop Tarzan in the pit. He gets the supreme display of talent. Hope pulls the trigger. Everyone dies. Why do people let MF pass ban phase? Because over the last year or two, she's been manageable. MF became a bit of a meme in the LPL. Only certain players were allowed to play it. Basically, you'd win lane and then not be able to find a good old game. And because you were required to win a team fight by MF ulting, it was a bad pick. In this game, MF is a great pick. You don't need MF to ult to win a team fight. As you see here, she doesn't have it. You do, however, have a Kiana with a hell of a lot of gold. Zucker jumps onto Kyle, and over they go. They kind of turn off Baron, but Shanks is DPSing from across the wall. The extended Baron pit wall makes Kiana even more dangerous. Tarzan wins the smite fight because Zhe is not able to get involved. Realm Warp flank angle from Flandre, who's TP'd back in after his death. The man advantage has turned around into AL's favor. Everything goes awry. There we go. But again, crash down. Ura struggling. Bullet time. Dead again. Not been an easy game from him. And again, is one of those players who does not play well from a losing game state. Tarzan has got himself an Edge of Night. But again, as Syndra, you can blow spell shields by having your Scout of the Week go first, then placing the ball partway through so it still gets shoved, and you do get those kind of 2 instances of CC. Hope now has a 4th item, has not bothered with LDR, has got a rapid fire cannon to make things even more scary. Yep, Elk did not enjoy the auto double up. A little love tap from Misfortune, more like a love slug. Not gentle in her affections this game. Rune Prison's on down. Xiaohu is not having a fun time. Zucker will put a dominance in and unfortunately does not survive the ministrations of Kiana. Someone else who apparently is a fan of tough love. And this game, I tell you now, is over. 11,000 gold, 29 minutes on the clock. Baron to AL. Man advantage. They are looking at Nexus turrets and Weibo Gaming must hold the line here and now. Will be moving on to a series lost. AL looking to close this one out cleanly. Nexus turret 1 down. Out comes the Glacial Fissure to very little avail. In the Realm Warp, forcing Xiaohu to back away. Shanks takes it. That might be a bit far. Goes golden. Buy some time. Flandre will unburrow himself. Shanks has got a shield to work with. The supreme display of talent. They do kill the Tarzan, though. That's pretty good from Weibo Gaming. Hope, though, in a 1v3, goes to the Nexus and starts autoing. Weibo need to stop that man. Misfortune dancing around. She's strutting all over them. She's making it look like a cakewalk. A catwalk. The model, the myth, the legend finally falls. And anyone's legend go a little deep with that Realm Warp and are deservedly punished. I thought Hope might actually be able to do it, but the game stats. And AL split their focus. Shanks goes too deep. Tarzan gets caught. And the game stays rolling. 11,000 gold lead cut to about 7.5. Not bad as a base defense, but good God, AL. So, what happens here? Shanks goes, I'm going to keep Xiaohu busy, keep attacking the turrets, don't worry about me. Is immediately jumped on, goes, this was a bad idea. AL takes turret aggro, Tarzan takes 3 turret shots there, and unfortunately for him, is immediately blasted. Does get a decent Supreme Display of talent down, but the Scout of the Week is really good. Tarzan is immediately blasted. Turret shots, for whatever reason, he took aggro. And then Hope goes, you know what? I've got Strut. I can run at this. Get minion blocked. That was really frustrating. Elk gets a dash on forward. Good flash from him. Does actually manage to take Elk with him, I think, which is kind of mad, actually. Look at that damage, man! Collector value. Last autos from the minions. It's never that simple, is it? Goes back, buys an LDR. Yup. Misfortune, really, really dangerous. To Dragon we go. Soul point. Game is still AL's. But it should have closed out there. Curry Chicken 9,000. Good to see you in chat. Is that like 9,000 curry chickens or just at a level of 9,000? The power scanner can't understand your curry chicken. Thank you, Zerak, for the follow. 16 more to go now before 10k. Oh my god, guys. Can we make it happen? Lol, might over 32 minutes. Well, I don't know. Might get there. We'll see. Fresh Eric as well. Thank you very much. 15 more to go. You rang curry mutton. Oh my god. Ah! We've got a full Tali in chat, guys. The Tali of the day is a 9,000 chicken curry and a curry mutton. I'm down for it. What kind of mutton curry are we? It's never curry wars. It's curry synergy. Curry should always be eaten with multiple kinds of curry. You don't want just one kind of curry. Anyone who does that is silly. Hang on, they just rolled up the turret. No way! Tarzan and Shanks. Tarzan's got GA. It's over. They've played it so smoothly. Tarzan's still not taking that much damage. The Nexus is gone. Anyone's legend. With the beautiful Realm Warp backdoor. Slopa. I'm assuming that's how I pronounce your name. Thank you again for follow. 9,986. We need 14 more. 14 more. Weibo Gaming 2-0'd. Deservedly so. That was close with the turret. It was. It was. But they make it work. What an end. What an end to the game. Pure Weibo, guys. Pure Weibo. That volume a little bit. There we go. So we don't get done in. Bye, TFC. TFC, do you need to go? Well, thank you for hanging around nonetheless. I appreciate it. Oh, over 300 follow-up viewers today. Appreciate it, guys. Please do hit that follow button. Please do hit that subscribe button if you can. Support us in doing some LPL work here. It means a huge, huge difference. I see you all in there with those Prime subs. Don't be a stranger. Subscribe. Subscribe. What a Baron throw. It was a bit, wasn't it? Poor AL, but poor Elk. He tried his best. Yeah, I'm gonna... Elk and Ura did an okay first start of the lane, but the problem was, basically, the moment the Misfortune started to get shoved, they brought over Tarzan and Shanks. Game over. And again, AL, when they have a platform to allow Tarzan plus mid plus support to start making aggressive moves, are such a different team from AL that are behind the curve and look a bit bloody lost because they've lost every bloody lane. Much better from them. Clearly had some conversations over the last few reviews going, what the hell are we doing, guys? Kick it back into gear. Makes a massive difference. It really does. Thank you for the follow, Slain. Oh, my days. We're getting there, guys. We really are. I think we can find 15. I think we can find 15 followers by the end of the day, guys. I think we can. I think we can. There's enough of you in here. I believe. How good is BLG? Currently best team in the league, at least as far as early snowballs go. They aren't perfect. I will say that. They are not perfect. They are, however, pretty damn scary. Give me LPL. There we go. 2026 season. We in that? Yes, we are. Yeah, so BLG are 3-0. They're 6-2 games. They still lose the first game semi-regularly because it's bloody BLG. That curse is back. I think JDG look pretty good, though they are reliant on Jundra and Honku to be good, and Vampire to be on engage support. So I think they're a bit more limited as a team. For all that their highs are still very high, I think they've got a lower floor still in terms of what their options are in draft and in terms of requirements to have a good game. AL are a decent team, as we've seen, but again, they've had some very poor laning phases, which is not what I want to see. Top Esports are a middle-of-the-pack team. Invictus Gaming are decent, but again, I need to see people like Sobero and Way, not Int, and Photic be able to play things that are not cast-ready carries, because poor Rookie. I think Rookie and Joy are legitimately good. They've got Mako still on the roster, so they've got some talent there to work with. I think Sobero's going to need to do some of that growing up. He's definitely the shy light going on in terms of his gameplay. Who else have I got eyes on? Team WE are decent middle of the pack team. Karis and Monkey look really solid. About and Yao Yao's additions have been good. Cube gets to play supportive top sides and be happy. I am quietly a big fan of LNG's roster, guys. Sheer, Croco, Bulldog, 1XN, and Missing. I think they can make a push for middle of the pack and playoffs quite happily. I don't expect them to be in Group Nirvana all year. I really, really, really don't. So keep your eyes on that team. I think 1XN is a superstar. I think he's absolutely deserves a real shot at some greatness in the LPL. Keep your eyes on him. I think he's a wonderful player. That's kind of my initial read on stuff there. League analyst. Oh, great. Rel is 1-7 now. Congratulations. That's LPL Rel's first win? Really? Who's been playing Rel? Is it just that teams have been playing Rel who aren't good at it? Or has it been things like AL having a bad time? Tarzan's about to speak, so I'll let Tarzan speak and we'll have that conversation. I mean, in fairness, Kyle is a really good Rel. I think he was fine today, to be fair, Toxwalk. I don't think it's fair to say he was awful. I think he was fine. He wasn't MVP caliber, but I really don't think he was that bad. You reckon? I don't think that's fair. I think he finds it. Like, he got caught once, but I think his Magnet Storms were fine. That Baron play was good from him. He set up the big fight in the river that got them snowballing around that dragon that allowed Tarzan to get his big ult. Got the double shattering strike on that one. Okay, to be fair, I see your point there, but I think at that point Tarzan was also giga low, so I think that fight was lost regardless, so I think he was trying to play a bit more defensive. Though I grant you he could have gone forwards there and that would have been fine too, so, you know. But I don't think it's, I don't think it's enough to completely cancel Israel. No, I hear your point. Not dismissing it.
今天我们专注到就
So to be fair, historically, Kyle made his name in LCK on Rel. He came up to LPL and was our best Rel player. So like, you know, like contextually, he's a very good Rel. I grant you this was not his best Rel performance, but I don't think it was like disastrous. So there you go. But I see the complaints. And again, my co-caster here, who is currently doing Power Spike, is in fact a massive RE1 trick. There is an RE shrine up there, about 16 statues, so I'm very used to very highly critical people of specific champions. Not here to judge. Anyway, let's listen to Tarzan a little bit. I'll turn the camera off. That's the one talks, yes. That might be a bit extreme.
4打5抢到大龙太关键了。我特别想知道那一波你自己当时在抢龙时候的判断是什么，能不能跟大家还原一下？
就判断的话，其实那波虽然我们是4到5，但是他们动大龙的速度也没有那么快，然后情况也是比较好吧。然后加纳本来强龙也厉害，然后就慢慢打了吧，就靠运气了。
这不是你第一次抢到龙了啊。
Tarzan saying anything interesting?
关于这个抢龙，你自己有没有什么小的秘诀？
Thoughts on Jim with Yumo's RFC rush? I will talk about that one after the interviews. We'll do that one.
率比较高吧，因为还能技能跟一起下惩戒的话，就差不多1800这种能抢到嘛，所以。 就5-5开吧，运气一半，然后实力一半。
运气本身也是实力的一部分啊。然后今天还是想聊到另外一个问题，就是跟 KL 的野辅联动，因为这个本身就是 AL 一个非常重要的特点。跟 KL 在一起也搭档了很久的时间了。在你看来，现在你们两个之间的默契程度大概是怎样？
That turns up because I'm interacting. Right, so let's get ready to mute it when we get towards breaks.
重要点吧，但是我们也最近。
So we don't end up with that
2年半
horrible.
然后我们也一起聊了很多东西，所以我们就也是慢慢进步，慢慢改吧。
最后想替所有的粉丝们问一个问题啊，因为我之前也看了 Tarzan 的这个程勇 TV 啊，拍的特别好，好看爱看。想知道下一次大概什么时候更新？
不知道，感觉就是像给粉丝们的就分享一下，就。 有意思的东西吧，所以下次不知道吧，可能出国的话有可能吧。
因为最近这个比赛训练强度也比较大，这个可以理解啊。当然，如果有时间的话，我们还是希望 Tarzan 能够多多的更新。最后，Tarzan 这2天身体稍微有一点小感冒啊，我们也希望 Tarzan 能够注意身体。我们把掌声送给 Tarzan 好吗？期待 Tarzan 包括 AL 在后面的比赛有更加精彩的发挥，继续加油。那接下来我们把时间交还给解说席。
Didn't watch any LEC this week. Any TLDR spicy takes? Yeah, a couple. I think a lot of teams are still figuring things out. MKOI are good, but are full on aggression. When it goes wrong and they fall on their face, it looks miserable. G2 need Caps to play well, and when he plays poorly, it's awful. Congratulations to Flandre for 500 victories, by the by. SK are actually good. But Leader is such a mercurial player. When it goes wrong, if Leader can't play the game, it's fucking abysmal. Like, genuinely awful. Genuinely look at yesterday's game where he has a really bad level 1 and they just fall apart. It's not that Leader is bad, but he is one of the most high resource players I've seen since Vitio. Yeah, exactly. But at LEC level, there are so many good laners that force him into bad decisions that when it goes wrong, he spirals like no one else. I think top lane in EU is actually now really strong. There's a lot of young players that are going to be legitimately good. Hope! God damn! Tarzan might earn MVP, but I think Hope actually had a really good series as well. That's a nasty MF game. Any other spicy takes? I think it was unlucky. Like, I think SK, yeah, SK's top, G2's top side is fragile. I agree. Is tracing good, my fellow Paul? Yes. So, right. Okay, so, excuse me. I think there are some rookies who have been deserving of coming to LEC for a very, very, very long time coming up to LEC. Some of them a little bit more than others. Tracin's one of them. But Tracin, Mainter, and Empiros were the best top laners at ERL level. Probably, you're also looking at someone like, who am I thinking of? Who am I missing here? It's one of the LFL tops. Man, there's what it's Cabochard. No, he fell off. Honest answer. He went to LEC. I think he was still LEC level when KC went up and just wasn't good enough. And hasn't really been playing that much since, unfortunately for him. Ragnar. That's who I'm thinking of. Ragnar's the other one you could potentially take a gamble on. But no, that's not the way it worked. And yes, they had a bad time. Is the honest answer. They had a bad time. But yes, I think basically Tracin, Mainter, and Empiros were very much worthy of a call-up. I think Naknako got it a little earlier. That's fine. He came up through Vitality's system. Understandable why they went for him. I personally thought Mainter and Tracin were less volatile, if less creative, and probably more well-rounded players, and probably had more chances of succeeding LEC than he did. But Naknako has actually done a really good job. He's still a bit of a psycho. He's still got a lot to learn, but he's really, really good. Again, he's actually been... The thing that is that I'm really proud of Vitality for doing is saying, look, actually, you still play like you. You want a Yasuo top? You Yasuo top. We'll back you to do it. It's still very volatile. He's still a very inconsistent player. He's still got his flaws. He's still got his character as a player. But it is great fun. He's got great hands. He's got great creativity. He's got great carry potential. Worth picking up, even if his character can be a little bit more knife cut. Like the sword cuts both ways, basically. But I think Tracin, Mainter, and Empiros are absolutely worthy of coming on up. And then you've also got people like Wonder coming around, and Canna's still there, and Broken Blade's still there. Top lane pool is really, really big in LEC. I think a lot of these guys are not going to show their true class until summer, though. There is some learning curve. There is growing to do. There is learning how to play at tier 1, not tier 2. That will be a big difference. Tarzan, player of the game, perfectly reasonable. He was a great Kian and got things rolling. He'll be player of the series as well, no doubt. And that will be just expected and fine. Thank you all for the follows. We need 12 more for 10,000. 12 more. That's it. That's it. Did I miss a Tarzan Masterwork? He was very good. I gotta say, look at NLC Rossi, looks kind of dire for that league. I mean, if I speak, so obviously I was an NLC caster. I'm not this year. I'm very underwhelmed from what I see. I'm not gonna lie, I'm very underwhelmed, and that's a little disappointing to say. But hey, here we are. I love the disco music they've come into. They've just, like, as far as I understand it, they're trying to build towards having more content teams with more interaction and eyes on the league via those kind of influencer routes. More Twitch rivals in that sense, but they're kind of being inspired by things like WWE, which is all well and good, but it's not particularly competitive. And I worry that it'll end up being a bit shallow and a flash in the pan, without actually enough substance to have anything like a sustainable angle. What do I mean WWE style? As in that's what they're inspired by. It's WWE, that kind of content, that kind of style of engagement is what they're looking to build around. You know, the shows that WWE does is what I was told. So less a traditional sports broadcast and more a kind of character entertainment, big storylines and big personalities type thing. Druttut does. I think the guy's mechanically legit as hell. Yeah, I agree. When Druttut's been good for a while, like, he's a good player. That's never been in doubt, I think. Anyone who sees his streams knows the guy's very, very talented. How he does it at a pro level will be a bit different. Again, I think it will always be a little bit weird with NLC's level of play, the split being so dubious. I think that will be quite tricky. If he does go to EMEA Masters, I think there will be a rude awakening from LFL, LVP, Prime League teams. Right. It's time to turn off the music there, add in our music here. And ensure that we don't get done in by Dearest copyright strikes. Yeah, basically it's a copyright strike ad that's just not whitelisted for co-streaming. So if we have the audio on, we get shut down. It's happened to you. That's what kept happening to the YouTube stream, which was a bloody disaster. What happened to you guys over in YouTube, basically? Is this disco music on the official broadcast? Yeah, it is Afro Ninja. It's great. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan. But yeah, I hope that explained the WWE style thing I was talking about. Any more in terms of follows, by the way? We're looking for 12 more. Anyone not following yet? Hit the follow button. Do it. Anyone want to subscribe? Come on, support us. About to get you, then it stopped. I turned it off. I'm sorry, Afro Ninja. It's a great track. I want to know what it is. In fact, it reminds me of a... It reminds me of a really famous disco track. I'm trying to remember what it is. Does anyone know what it reminds them of? Hey, Mecha. Glad to see you in here, Mecha. Don't stress about it. Come chill out. You know you're welcome. You don't have to be active. Just be here and chill out and vibe. Well, we've got you, mate. We've got you. For those who haven't supported us yet, consider donating to the Ko-fi. And Garrett, copy that across. Ways to come support us, even if you're not on Twitch. I just say Akshan players with a burning passion. I think Akshan is so much like things like Draven or Ivan. Ivan probably more like it. There is very few champions that play the game like Akshan does. And so if you are an Akshan player playing in teams that don't understand the concept of Akshan, it is so hard to manage it. I'm going to turn the camera off briefly. I'm going to try and get some more ads on so we don't have ads in game. Basically, because we've got to squeeze in as many ads as we can at the break so we don't get them in game, but we still get the ad revenue stuff. So it's just like, if you don't want ads, subscribe. Otherwise, just please keep up with it. Please allow us to deal with it while we are doing that there streaming thing in the break. Stick around. Please help support the stream. That way, it does make a massive difference. If you don't want the ads, Twitch Turbo helps. Twitch Prime helps. Subscribing helps. All these things.